Welcome to Chapter 5 of Deadly Manners. Before we begin, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors.
MeUndies are the softest, most comfortable underwear you'll ever wear down there. Period. Every pair of MeUndies is sustainably sourced, and it's made from micromodal, a fabric that's 3 times softer than cotton. If you're used to buying boring underwear, like me, MeUndies is going to change everything. You have to feel for yourself why MeUndies has sold over 5 million pairs to date. That's a lot of butt cheeks. If you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, then they're free. For a limited time, get 20% off your first pair, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/deadly. That's MeUndies.com/deadly.
Michelle, have you heard about Shudder? It's a premium streaming service that has the greatest films and television and even podcasts that have to do with spine-tingling, horror, and provocative thrillers, all that kind of stuff.
Listen, baby, you know me. You've known me for a long time. You know I love a horror movie.
You love a horror movie.
It is my favorite. And what I love about Shudder, by the way, it's Shudder, is that it has the largest collection out there. And this is who they cater to.
Yes.
They cater to the people like me. And I love that.
And it's human curated, not by some machine.
Correct.
So they're choosing things that are really, really good. In fact, there's something on here called Creature Designers, the Frankenstein Complex.
Yes, it's a documentary about the creation of the most memorable monsters in the film business, which we all love. Shudder's available for $4.99 a month. It's such a bargain. But our listeners can get a free month by entering the promo code DEADLY at checkout. You can even listen to Deadly Manners ad-free on there and a week early and in lossless sound quality right there on Shudder.com. That's Shudder.com, and the promo code is DEADLY. Shudder.com.
Veronica stood frozen. She figured she would find Esther quietly crying in a corner. She would hold her hand rather than offer a shoulder so as not to ruin her dress with tear stains. Instead, Veronica stared bug-eyed at Esther, whose hands were still buried in her dead husband's coat pockets.
Well, did you? Was it you who killed him?
No! Goodness, no! How could you think that I could even be capable of something like that?
Well, I didn't until right now, if that makes you feel any better.
Of course it doesn't!
What am I supposed to think? You're rummaging through Joseph's pockets. What are you doing, Esther?
You wouldn't understand.
Right now, I understand that it looks like you're searching for possible evidence to hide.
Okay, yes.
Yes?
I mean, no!
Well, which one is it?
Yes, I am looking for evidence.
Oh my God.
But not because I killed him. I swear to you, I did not kill my husband. The evidence is... I want Joseph to be remembered honorably. He deserves that. Our business dealings weren't always kosher, for a lack of a better word, but we did what we had to thrive. I'm not ashamed of that. I just want to make sure that there isn't any evidence of that thriving on his person when they finally take his body.
You know I'm the last person to fault anyone for thriving. What are we talking here? A little creative accounting?
Nothing like that. We just may have capitalized a bit on the socioeconomic situation brought about by the war.
I see. Well, I believe judgment should be left to God himself, or whomever it is that your people believe in.
That would be God.
Oh, goody. I'm going to get back to the party. You really should too.
I don't want to leave him alone again. A deceased body really shouldn't be left alone. Someone's supposed to watch him. It's Shamira.
But does it have to be you?
No, it could be anybody.
I'll get the maid to do it. I'll head back and send her in so you can get back to the fun.
Right. Fun.
Esther watched Veronica drift out of the room, leaving her alone with her husband. She took her hands out of his pockets. She smoothed out the lines in his suit and patted down his hair the way he always liked.
You'll never have fun again. Not that you would have been having much fun at this party because it's been a bit horror.
Back at the splendid spectacular, Veronica was finally pleased with the party before her. Her guests had drinks in hand, there were smiles all around, and nobody had died in the past hour. She scanned the crowd for the maid who was quietly dusting in the corner.
Beatrice, would you be a doll and go to Esther? She's in the billiards room with her husband's corpse. You know how she's Jewish. Well, they have these rules, and apparently you're not supposed to leave a dead body alone for too long. It's called Shapiro. Something like that. I told her you would do it.
Miss Veronica, I'm happy to do it, but I feel like I'm more needed here.
I assure you you're not.
Won't we be serving food soon?
That's nothing George can't handle. Now, would you like to continue being insubordinate, or provide a little comfort to my good friend Esther?
Of course, Miss Veronica. Anything I can do to help.
With heavier footsteps than usual, Beatrice marched off in search of Esther. Olivia approached her mother.
Have you seen the fortune teller?
No, I haven't. Have you been looking for him long?
A little while. I wonder where he could be hiding.
Oh, honey, you know these types like to entertain themselves. He's going to make himself reappear any moment now. Ta-da! And everyone will clap at his impressive display of talent.
He's a fortune teller, not a magician.
Well, who can even tell the difference these days?
Fortune tellers don't have bunnies. They don't cut people in half or guess what card you're holding.
Well, if that's the case, then find him and tell him he is on the clock and this isn't his time. It's my time. I'm not paying him to drink my good liquor and split.
You think he's okay?
He's fine. Everything's fine now.
Olivia watched Veronica saunter into the party.
You mean for now?
Olivia decided to begin her investigation. She tapped random guests, many of whom had been to Veronica's parties and knew exactly who Olivia was, but had never once thought of taking the time to get to know her.
Have you seen the fortune teller anywhere?
No, dear.
Excuse me, have you seen the fortune teller?
No, I'm sorry.
Olivia tediously made her way from person to person. Meanwhile, Robert and Leslie were deep in the throes of a secretive exchange. Olivia considered approaching them and inquiring over the whereabouts of the fortune teller, but their hushed tones indicated something more interesting was afoot.
I saw your Jaguar out there. Did you buy it yourself, or...?
If this economy holds up, I don't plan on buying another car for myself for as long as I live.
Corporate benefit?
You betcha.
Ooh, you gotta love a loophole in the corporate tax rate.
You sure do. I love that car, but there's nothing better than American manufacturing.
Put your money where your Jag is.
Oh, come on. It was a gift. I'm a Cadillac man, really.
The assembly line. Talk about innovation.
Get a bunch of saps to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and pay them practically nothing for it, but make them feel swell for being part of American ingenuity.
They'll never be able to afford those cars, but at least they get to look at them. Or parts of them.
Roger and Leslie cracked themselves up. One could imagine these former frat boys in a college basement having the same conversation.
All right. Enough with the small talk. How are the bananas?
The bananas keep my pockets nice and plump. And those Ecuadorian females keep another part of me pretty plump, if you know what I'm saying. Not all things are better American made.
You dog, you.
I don't get down there much, but boy, do I try. Turns out there's this crazy local trying to reclaim the land or some phooey.
You paid for that farmland fair and square, right? Well, you at least paid for it, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Well, then that land is yours. Can't have people running around acting like these things aren't fair. Is it more fair that they get to profit off those bananas because that land is in their country and they were born there? Where does that leave us in the equation?
Yeah, right. What about me? Money should be good enough for everybody. So, what do you think we should do about it? It's not just this guy. He's got men. They've got machetes and guns. They'll take their land back any way they can. They tried to burn down the whole crop, if you can believe it.
Sounds pretty serious. You know the leader's name?
Suarez.
Any association with the Communist Party down there?
I'd guess, but it's hard to know for sure. They were outlawed 2 years ago. A bunch of their members wound up in jail.
Oh, I get it. Nobody wants to be forthright with their support.
I've got to defend what's mine.
You do. And I think you should do that any way you see fit. If you need my help, just say the word.
Thanks, Roger. You've always come through for me.
The world doesn't mourn commies. We do what we need to.
Olivia decided she had had enough.
Excuse me? We do what we need to?
Run along, little girl. These are adult matters you couldn't possibly understand.
You think I can't understand? I'm from Liberia.
You're out of your league, girl.
I've read all about what's happened there. What this country did.
Oh, please.
Soldiers didn't come to Liberia to help us. They came to drain us of our rubber and iron.
And that's how the Firestone guys kept production of their tires so cheap.
You garnished our government's revenue for a plant that used our resources. And then when you ruined your own economy during the Great Depression, who do you think was one of the first countries to suffer?
Listen, girl, you're in America now, so think American. That was some pure, unbridled, delicious capitalism flowing through your town, but you're not there anymore, and you're not poor anymore. Stop thinking like you're disadvantaged and start taking advantage. You're probably the only privileged Negro out there.
Agreed. So if I were you, I'd enjoy what I have and keep my mouth shut.
Olivia seethed as both men took long swigs of their drinks. William noticed his daughter unhappily chatting it up with them and immediately made his way over.
Tastes good.
You are a disgusting...
Olivia, I can't imagine you're interested in whatever these two bores are going on about.
I
heard you were hungry. I think they're going to bring out food soon. Want to go check on it with me? We'll get first dibs on the deviled eggs.
Olivia wanted nothing more than to give these men a piece of her mind, her fist and her foot. But she knew that wasn't going to end well for her.
Sure, Dad. Let's go.
William gave Roger and Leslie a tense head nod. Nobody had come to blows, but tension still hung in the air as the two parties separated. Meanwhile, Veronica and the butler were huddled in the corner discussing the food situation.
If we don't start serving food soon, I'm afraid.
Veronica and the butler turned and noticed a quite sauced James Egley. He could barely hold himself upright as he leaned against the wall. He finally felt their stares.
Are you expecting a show? I'm not in the business anymore.
That's all right, James. You just enjoy yourself.
They turned to make their way through the party, but...
Oh, all right. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou... I swear I remember this one.
He muttered to himself as he tried to recount the lines. Veronica and the butler took this opportunity to disappear back into the crowd.
I see what you're afraid of, George. Can't anybody hold their drink anymore?
'Tis a pity.
'Tis.
Veronica noticed the guests nibbling on something mushy and colorless.
What is everybody eating right now?
I found some pâté in the kitchen. Thought I'd serve it despite its interesting aroma.
Interesting?
It certainly doesn't smell like liver or any other meat I can think of.
Veronica looked at the table that housed the pâté. The table could barely be seen through the mass of people surrounding it as they inhaled the mysterious paste.
Looks like they didn't notice any smell.
That's what happens when you're hungry. Your mind starts playing tricks on you.
Has the beef been reheated? I think we should regroup in the dining room. Have a nice little sit down. Make them think they're practically at a smorgasbord. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan, Miss Veronica. I'll get on it. Perhaps Beatrice could assist me as well.
She's busy with Shoshana. I'll explain later. Just do your best on your own for now, okay?
Yes, Miss Veronica.
As the butler scooted off to the kitchen, Veronica decided to check out the pâté or whatever little of it there was left. She muscled her way through the small swarm to get a better look at it.
Looks a little gray for pâté.
Doesn't taste gray.
Esther, hello! Beatrice is taking care of your Jewish thing, yes?
Yes, thank you. And she came just in time because I finally got my appetite back. You should try some of this.
Doesn't taste gray isn't quite a rave review, so I think I'll pass. Hopefully my new chef will have a better recipe.
What happened to your old chef?
Rehab.
Oh, no. I've heard that drugs have begun infiltrating our neighborhoods.
No, I meant for her leg. It hurt this morning while prepping the food, tore something or other, and now she's gone to physical rehab. I was never good at remembering the names of musculature, but we sent her off with a fat check and fare thee well. So she really needs to focus on healing right now.
I guess that explains the poor food service tonight. Why didn't you tell me, V? I would have gladly called my kitchen staff. They'd weather any weather for me.
Barbara, who was lurking just behind Veronica, savored both the pâté and the words on her tongue.
No need, Barb. Despite your criticisms, I think it's all working out just fine.
Barbara shrugged as she dipped another cracker into the meaty substance.
Well, do you have the facility's address? I'd love to send a card.
I'll have the maid fetch it once she's finished with the shlomo.
Shamira.
Yes, that's what I said.
Olivia stepped into the conversation, popping a deviled egg into her mouth.
I couldn't find the fortune teller anywhere.
Where did you get that egg?
Esther, you know you can't eat them.
Does she, though?
I know.
But we should be circulating some beef Wellington shortly.
Finally, things are looking up.
Not for the fortune teller, it seems. Where do you think he's gone off to?
No clue. Maybe he's dead in a closet somewhere. I didn't look that hard for him.
Olivia.
What? Is it not entirely within the realm of possibility for tonight?
Well, he certainly couldn't have just left. That would be preposterous. What, with the blizzard outside and all?
So you think he's hiding? Why would he do that?
Maybe he has something to hide.
Like what?
He's a fortune teller. His plan wasn't to gather secrets and then wait around in the room with all of the people he gathered secrets from. He was probably hoping to leave at some point, but the storm changed all that. He had the right idea, if you ask me.
I didn't take him as the hiding type.
Everyone's the hiding type under the right circumstances.
So everyone's a coward.
Of course. I'm surprised that surprises you. I've always figured you for the worldly type, or at least the kind of person who tries to feign worldliness.
As opposed to you? The kind of person who feigns personality?
I have a personality. You just don't like it.
I'm beginning to see why Joseph never wanted children.
They're a joy, really.
Slowly, the herd around the table started to disperse.
What's going on?
Must be more food. Excuse me.
Esther flocked with the flock. Veronica turned a stern eye to Olivia.
Must you hate me so publicly? What did I ever do to you that was so wrong?
You want a list?
No, I don't. But there can't possibly be a list. Is that you messing with me again? Wait, don't tell me. I can't handle learning of another failure tonight. It'll drive me to absolute madness, I swear.
How did you feel about your mom when you were my age?
Oh. So, are you saying this is all just a phase then?
Olivia shrugged as she walked away.
She thinks she knows everything.
Who thinks she knows everything?
William locked Veronica in a tight embrace from behind. In a rare display of public affection, he nuzzled his face into her neck.
You know that's my favorite spot.
No, it isn't.
William!
What? You know it's true.
What has gotten into you?
A bit of liquor, a bit less food.
They're serving it now. Go get some and straighten up.
What if I don't want to?
Veronica pulled away from him.
Ugh, there will be plenty of time for that after the party.
Everyone's so busy, they wouldn't even notice if we slipped away.
I am not missing my own party for some foolery, especially when it's just about to get good again. I'm going to get some beef, if you'd like to join me.
Yes, my love.
He took her hand in his as they walked into the dining room. The guests watched as the butler set down the last entree.
Please be seated, everyone.
As the guests poised their forks to stab their beef Wellingtons.
A toast.
I'm pretty sure everyone's had enough toasts for tonight. Let's eat.
To eating.
Everyone dug into their meal. The quiet that came from sating an undying hunger settled over the room.
I'm not sure why Chef was so worried about this earlier. It tastes much better than her usual recipes.
Honey, let's not talk about the chef.
Right.
Veronica turned back to her meal. She spotted Barbara flagging down the butler.
Could I have a second helping if possible? This is delicious.
Yes, kudos to the chef. She should be commended for this. Please send me the address of a rehab facility so I can wish her well.
Not sure what's for dessert, but I know of a mouth-watering bananas Foster recipe. I could pass it along to your chef.
Oh, so you're a distributor and a connoisseur.
I spend a lot of time with my product. It's a wonderful fruit that goes beyond a simple snack or loaf.
Careful, Leslie. You're starting to sound like a woman.
And what would be wrong with that?
The butler returned with Barbara's second helping. Veronica watched as she inhaled it, ravenous, licking her fingers in delight. As much as she didn't like pleasing Barbara, it was much better than the alternative.
I come bearing wine. It is a Chateau Haut-Brion red Bordeaux that should pair nicely with the beef.
He started making his way around the table, filling glasses. As he neared Esther,
Would you mind getting me some more water? I seem to have a tickle in my throat.
Olivia, why don't you play something on the piano?
I'm still eating.
I would be happy to provide entertainment. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come.
Thank you, James, but Olivia could provide perfect background music. Olivia, think of how lovely it would be for the rest of us to enjoy our meals while listening to you tickle the ivories. How about that beautiful ballad your father taught you?
You know she gets embarrassed.
Well, she shouldn't. She's very talented. Come now, wow us.
Olivia begrudgingly got up from the table and shuffled to the baby grand in the corner of the room.
Ah, I love this one.
That one's a little long, don't you think?
Hush you. You're the one who put her up to this. At least let her choose the song.
At the other end of the table, Nancy was enthralled with Olivia's skill.
She's really quite good.
She's nothing special.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just have a little tickle.
Olivia tuned out Esther's coughs, her mother's complaints, and Roger's crock of shit to focus solely on her hands, the keys, and the music.
Is anyone else feeling a little hot? Maybe we could open a window?
You know we can't do that.
Are you all right, Esther? You look a little wan.
Pallid, even.
Esther tried to get up, but her legs gave out from under her. She caught herself on the chair, barely preventing a fall to the ground.
Esther, your neck! It's covered in those red spots again.
Here we go.
What was in that beef Wellington?
No eggs, ma'am, I assure you. Just beef fillet, mushrooms, pepper.
I can't.
Is there a doctor in the house?
The guests looked at each other, murmuring with concern.
Oh no. Dr. Daniels was one of the guests who couldn't make it tonight.
I played a doctor in a film once.
Not the same, my friend.
I don't understand. She said she was allergic to eggs. Why is this happening?
Because nobody's paying attention to her anymore.
Is it possible she could be allergic to something else?
She had this reaction to both a Caesar salad and an omelet. What else could it be?
What else was in the omelet? Something that was also in the salad?
Onions?
Esther's face turned beet red as she shook her head. No.
There were those tiny, stinky fish.
Anchovies?
None of our dishes tonight included them.
Actually, I believe it's in the sauce for the beef, madam. One of the key ingredients of Worcestershire.
Esther's body went limp, sending her face first into the dining room table, crushing the plates and glasses beneath her.
Esther!
Esther's body laid there motionless. The butler inched toward her. He checked her pulse.
I'm sorry, madam. She's dead.
At least, she won't need that address.
Thank you for listening. We're going to leave you with a preview of Chapter 6 after this quick word from our sponsors.
MeUndies are the softest, most comfortable underwear you'll ever wear down there. For a limited time, get 20% off your first pair, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/deadly. That's MeUndies.com/deadly.
Deadly Manners is brought to you by Shudder, the best streaming collection of horror online. You can also get episodes of Deadly Manners a week early, ad-free, and in lossless sound quality on Shudder. Start your free 30-day trial at Shudder.com with promo code DEADLY.
I dare someone to try and come at me.
Need to finally coordinate and escape from this place.
Please be okay. Oh, God!
Someone in this room is responsible, so which one of you was it?
Everyone, cover your vital organs.